It's time for what's in my film bag. First, if you're wondering why you should even care what's in my film bag, that's because I am a young narrative and commercial filmmaker, photographer, and videographer. Yes, filmmaking and videography are different.
Oh, I do videography.
You're not a filmmaker, okay? Filmmaker's only when you tell a story. Videography is like blah blah blah, highlight reel, blah 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 blah. I will also have links to all of this gear in the description if you wanna pick it up. If you don't like this angle, I don't care, really. Okay, starting off, we have Mos Eisley Cantina bag. This is the tan. I've gone through a good amount of film bags, I'd say. And this is just what's in my bag. If you guys wanna see all the gear with Sam, we can do a giant gear tour. I would say let me know, but only 10 people watch this, so, and most of them are my friends, pretty much all of them are, so that doesn't really work. I'm pretty sure this thing was like $30, super cheap, and it's waterproof. This thing has saved me a good amount of times. This side we have a little tripod spot. Back here we have storage, which I don't use, I don't think. Oh, I do use that. It's one of my cameras. Whatchamacallit, what do you even?
Your strap on?
Nope. That's actually what I thought it was called. Your camera strap. Then we open it up. This is a little reminder for me, you don't need to know that. It says, don't forget batteries, because I forgot batteries at one of my shoots, and it was embarrassing. At the back of the bag, we have this baby. The absolute terror of the West, or East. This is my Sigma 70mm to 200mm. This thing, 2.8 f-stop, and if you don't know what f-stop means, just think the lower the number, the better blur behind. So 2.8 for a zoom lens. So usually there's two types of lenses. There's zooms and there's primes. Primes, you can't zoom in and out, it's just stuck. You physically need to move forward. Zooms you can. With zoom lens, because that's why they get so big with zoom, is because there's so much glass in here to allow for changing your background blur, which is your f-stop, along with having farther range. So that goes just right back here, bottom of the bag. Look to keep that thing in the base. In here, this is my 30, I'm a big Sigma guy. I don't think it's worth buying an extra $1,000 for the Canon lenses. Right here is the storage for the 35mm 1.4 Sigma art lens. But stored there right now, I have my 24 to 105 RF, which is a mirrorless lens type. EF is the non-mirrorless, that's what my other two are. I have an adapter for my mirrorless camera. We will get to that, stay with me. I'm just giving you a lot of camera terms, and I think I'm really smart when I say them, because I can remember it, and it costs a lot of money. Sigma 1.4. 35mm is the go-to best lens out there. I don't care what you say, get a 35mm, that is your best lens choice. That's what almost every movie shot in. You need a 35mm if you are a filmmaker or a photographer. It's just the best. If you need one lens, get the 35. On top of that, I have a Pro Mist Tiffin filter. This thing was $80 and it is so worth it. It creates that kind of filmic glow and it allows light. Honestly, you know what? I can show you. So that's it with it. This is without. It's a soft light filter. It's making that light soft. It's making it, I use that because I'm a big fan of the 80s, so it's pretty epic. That is the Tiffin Pro Mist filter. And make sure when you are getting one of these filters, this only works on my 35mm lens because lenses have different sizes. If you notice, this lens is much bigger than this lens. So if I tried to freaking put this on here, it would not work. So you can do some research on that or you can listen to me right now and I'll give you the basic version, which is, it's on the back of your lens cap actually. So this is you can look at this. I don't know if you guys can see that. 67, I don't know if you can see that. That's a 67 millimeter and I have a 67mm Pro Mist filter. So those things go hand in hand and I just like to store that by leaving it on if I don't use it. Put it in my bag safely and make sure it's on when I'm done.
Now, the freaking beast.
Because Canon is using the new mirrorless lenses, which is the mirrorless only affects the camera, but the lenses are now new and lighter. They're learning how to make lenses better, so they're cheaper because they're lighter. But I honestly like the weight because with more, if you don't know, with more weight you have more control over the camera, which results in less like shaky movements. I do realize this is not like a normal vlog of the daily vlog, I know.
I'm giving you a lot of information, but stay with me. You guys are doing so great. Hey.
I love you guys. This is the R6 Mark II Canon camera. This thing is a beauty. I just got this, did a lot of research. I thought about going to the Sony a7S III, which is like the most cliche film camera in the world right now. It's what every filmmaker thinks they need to use.
It's not what you have, it's how you use it. I want you to remember that.
So I have the Canon R6 Mark II. This thing's amazing. Something that sucks that Canon does and almost all of camera companies is non-continuous recording. After 30 minutes, it just stops. And I do podcasts. So Sam and I were really, with Sam, I do podcasts with Sam, and we were really looking at a camera that could just go the whole time. So we didn't need to get up and start and stop, and that we could just not focus on that. And these babies did it. This thing is incredible. There's insane specs on this, but I don't want to annoy you. Again, all this stuff will be linked in the bio. And buying gear, if you're a filmmaker and you're a photographer, you're getting into it, just know you're gonna be spending money on this stuff because it's addictive. It's so addictive to buy gear. And then also in this little spot, I have what I'm recording on now is the Rebel SL2 Canon camera. And I have that right here, and I just use the kit lens. The kit lens is it's the basic B lens. That's the lens you have when you start the camera. I'll either throw I'll either throw this 35 millimeter actually. I never really throw this thing anymore, I used to. And I just have that right here, and I use that for vlogging behind the scenes, or if my friends need it, I let them borrow it because I don't want them to spend $800 on a camera they don't need to buy. And I definitely recommend this gear. If you're gonna buy something, you should probably buy what the professionals have, okay? Love you.